Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome to my YouTube channel and or my Facebook post. It depends on what happens. I may interlay and cut this with pictures if I can. This is an educational video for me and maybe for you if you like fun stuff, silly stuff. Anyway, when I was a kid, like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, my mom told me this story about Betty and Barney Hill. And, well, that light's harsh. Really harsh. That's bad. Anyway, let me pull this down some. Anyway, Betty and Barney Hill are from the United States. They lived in New Hampshire. They lived in kind of like rural areas. Rural. R-U-R-A-L. Rural. Anyway. They had been to the Niagara Falls. To Niagara Falls just to check things out. And on their way home, things got a little weird. And I've made some good quick notes here. God, that looks like hieroglyphics real fast going by. I wish I did know all hieroglyphics, or Sumerian, or Umamua, all kinds of weird stuff going on. Anyway, Betty and Barney Hill, very nice. She was a social worker. They were both middle-aged back then. It was in 1961. If I'm correct, some of the race stuff didn't happen until after that, or during. I'm not really quite sure. I wasn't around, a little fuzzy in a couple of years there. But it was in September of 1961. And it was very rural, very dark. They were coming home at night. This was the first ever widely published encounter that had really, gotten around, because there was an in-depth study by lots of scientists, many of whom were highly skeptical. But guess what? You gotta hear what happened. Alright. And I'm gonna try to put pictures. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Oh yeah, that's Roswell. He's from Roswell, New Mexico. I think in another video I said Virginia. I was thinking of Roswell, Virginia. He's from Roswell, New Mexico. I lived in San Antonio at the time. And we traveled to Roswell and saw all kinds of stuff. They had a museum. We did all kinds of stuff. It was one of the coolest trips I've ever had, just to have fun. Nothing important, nothing, no tour trap. We just did what we wanted. And at night we went out there. Ooh, it was so fun. And we saw some weird lights. Nothing really bad, but just enough to get excited. But this thing, I've seen things that were not. I was scared. And my mother is a witness to 2 of these things that I remember. I wish she were here to tell her side of the story. And my dad was even one. But he's really foggy on it, which is odd, because he just he doesn't think about that stuff, or didn't. We all love and miss him a lot. A lot. Anyway, okay, so they're driving home. They'd had a nice trip. It's really late at night, 10:30, 11 at night. And Betty, first, she saw it. She said to Barney, what is that? What is that? First she thought it was a falling star. And then she realized falling stars don't fall up, and they don't traverse across the sky at great speeds, and illuminate here, and then 3 times there. All kinds of crazy things. And he saw it too. And he said, keep an eye on it. I'm going to keep going. So they kept going for a little while. Well, it got bigger, and it got brighter, and closer. And Barney's driving. All of a sudden, Betty said, stop the car. The way the UFO, or UAP now, which is unidentified aerial phenomena, as opposed to USOs, which are underwater, submerged phenomena, or whatever they are. Anyway, a lot of them are underwater, which makes me curious about what's going on the entirety on, above, and below this planet. Just curious. Just nobody really asked. It's kind of defunct, although a lot of these civilizations, the Maya, some of the Inca, Aztecs, a lot of the Mexican civilizations, and even in India and China, their beliefs are such that they came out of the caves. They say they came out of the caves. they have found human bones in caves. They found animal bones in caves. Cave life was not safe. In fact, I met a guy in Jordan, the country of Jordan, who lived in a cave. He drove a donkey with a little cart because it was in Petra, which is very, very slopey. It was a long way, and anyway, they gave rides if you wanted one. But he lived in a cave. He said he had a TV in his cave. Okay, these are semi-nomadic people. Now they've got their Petra joint kind of stabilized, but they don't live in houses or huts. Well, I'm sure some of them do, but he asked me to go to his cave. I was like, no, I'm all caved out for today, but thank you. Okay. How long is this? 5 minutes. I'm gonna do this real fast. Alright, come back from Niagara Falls, got bigger. Barney jumped out of the car, took the binoculars, held it up. He didn't need to really do it because the thing was getting bigger, closer, closer. And he saw figures. Not human. Figures. Doesn't say what kind. They were not humans. He did say that. Humanoid. And there were like 8 or 9 of them. He could see looking out of the window of this very close, within 300 feet of them. I think that's what I read. Anyway, he saw it and he freaked out. Now, the one cool thing about this story is, this is 1961. Betty and Barney Hill are not of the same race. I could care less. I don't care. I could care nada. But it just is a fascinating twist on the story. Betty was a white lady, and Barney was a black guy, man, however you say it. Them, they, the, whatever. They were a couple, but white and black. And at that time especially, if you're my age, you kind of know when you got a little older, you're like, okay, I don't have anything against it, but you just didn't see it. And some people, I'm sure, have their opinions, and some people probably still do. And they're the only damn problem in our USA right now, except for other things. But I don't see race, other people do, but it is what it is. But it's fascinating about this story, because they really did not want to get attention for themselves. They were not looking for any kind of glory or whatever, TV coverage. In fact, the antithesis of that. So anyway, alright, I'm going to stop this around 8 minutes or so, and I'm going to give you part 2. It's really interesting. Let me see if I can figure out what I'm doing. Alright, see y'all later. Hang on for part 2 soon. Probably on YouTube and Facebook sometime soon. Okay, bye.